What's up, everyone? Welcome to another Art of War stream. We're here with one final tier list. One last tier list.
Tier list to rule them all, John.
A tier list to rule them all. We are going through the Space Marine heavy supports.
That's right.
It's about to get a little heavy in here.
Supported.
This is, of course, our fifth tier list. If you want to check out the last four, we've gone through all the different Space Marine slots. So, there's a lot of heavy support.
Yeah, there's quite a few. There's a couple lines on the screen you can't see, but
don't even worry about it, folks. We will get through all of the heavy supports. We've got the Forge World and the Space Marine Codex here. Mm-hmm. We are, of course, going just with the chapter agnostic units. We haven't put anything specific in, but perhaps maybe if there's some interest, that'll be a tier list coming up.
Yeah,
of course.
I'll be interested in that one for sure.
Still plenty of Space Marine strength because they have the most data sheets in the game. I think Space Marines have more data sheets than every type of Chaos combined.
That may not actually be true because Chaos have like access to basically all the Forge World units that Space Marines have.
Yeah.
So,
but like
they just copy and pasted it and put Chaos in front of the name. It's the Chaos Relic Contemptor.
Honestly,
it's the Chaos faction.
I would I'm thinking you've got Chaos Space Marines, Death Guard, 1,000 Suns, Chaos Knights, and Chaos Demons. I think Space Marines have more than all those books combined. Even if you call the Forge World stuff mostly a wash, I think Space Marines have more because they've got a couple more options.
Yeah.
I would still bet Space Marines come out ahead.
Potentially.
It's the named characters and all the
Oh, the named characters.
Data sheets, like baby.
50 named
data
characters
sheets
that don't do a single thing between
them. All right, let's kick this one off. We've got quite a few to work through, so it's time to get started. You know what? This is random, but it just happens that we're starting off with my favorite one.
The Land Raider Achilles.
The Land Raider Achilles. This bad boy comes with Volkites, which you don't care about because you upgrade them to multi-meltas.
I didn't even know you could buy Volkites.
It comes with Volkites.
Which one? Is it the Colvarin? Is it the one on the...
No, it's a different one.
Is it weaker or stronger?
It's worse.
Alright, strength 5? Great.
No. It's like, it basically shoots as hard as a Volkite Contemptor. It just shoots at like a different range profile, but with the same stats for some reason.
That's not what I...
It's not what I want. I want multi-meltas.
No, give me them multi-meltas, my man.
I like the Land Raider Achilles. It is quite tough because it's a Land Raider. It's 2 up armor, 5 up invuln, T8, like 16, 17 wounds. I think 16.
I think, yeah.
It's chunky.
It's chunky. In Iron Hands, it's giga chunky. Because you put Ironstone on it, you can give it a 1 up armor save with
Size Steel Armor.
Size Steel Armor.
Yep, you can pop smoke on it for -1 to hit. Like, there's all kinds
of... there's some armies that straight up can't kill it.
There are some armies that cannot kill Land Raider Achilles. It also has good output, but boy howdy. It's expensive.
It's like 310, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
It has 8 multi-melta shots, and it has either a piddly little indirect gun, or it has 4 solid shots. So like strength 8 -3/3, something like that. Maybe -2. Yeah. That's real damage. Like, that is real damage. In Iron Hands, or anything with a Tech Marine, anything with a Tech Marine, you give it +1 to hit. It's hitting on 2s. In Iron Hands, 1 CP puts it into Dev Doctrine if it's not already, and then rerolls 1s. Like, it hits.
Yeah, we'll kind of give a caveat on this now. If it's a big tank that you're going to take 1 of, it's probably better in Iron Hands.
Yes.
Well, let's just kind of say that now. So
it's also likely receiving your Tech Marine buff.
Also that. So the Land Raider Achilles, not very good in White Scars. Kind of bad in like Ultramarines. But you know what? Give that boy Iron Hands and it becomes like a strong choice. I
think it winds up in strong.
It winds up in strong choice. It definitely isn't perfect. Some armies are just capable of killing it, and when they do, you'll feel really sad. But it has good output. It is very tough and tanky. I kind of like it.
I really like it. It's a to the last. I mean, in Grey Knight's meta, it is a tournament staple, I think. But we're not in Grey Knight's meta anymore.
We are not.
Tau can kill it, unfortunately.
Custodes probably can kill it. Void Weavers will kill it.
Eldar Custodes can kill it. Tau can kill it. Eldar will have some trouble depending on their build.
Will they?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Doom Jinx and it dies to Shurikens?
It still might not. It has a 1-up save, so Jinx takes it to a 2-up, and then you have a lot of AP 0. Depending on the build, it can have... I'm just telling you, depending on the build, it will have some problems.
Yeah.
So, because like if you lean into a whole bunch of shuriken cannons, which are AP1, a lot of them, well, AP3 against that, but then you get a decent save.
Yep.
And you lean into a lot of scatter lasers, a lot of swooping hawks. Swooping hawks will not kill that.
I don't know. I've seen how many ones I roll against the swooping hawks, man.
That's true, but I think Eldar can struggle to kill it sometimes.
Yeah, I think it'll land in strong choice. I'm going to guess it's going to end up near the bottom of strong choice. It's a cool tech piece in higher hands. Otherwise, it's just a little bit too expensive.
It is a very strong choice,
but
though.
It is the best land raider. Don't want to spoil too much. It's the best land raider. Scorpius Arcus. This is the indirect one.
Okay, that's the strength 7 AP1, 2 damage, 2d6 shots blast.
Strength 6.
Strength 6. Got it.
Yeah. Comes with a heavy bolter. Sometimes has 3 heavy bolters. It's cool because it moves 14, so it's like a nice, fast little heavy bolter platform that also can sit in the back and shoot indirect. It's kind of the same cost as a Scorpius.
It's like 170, I think.
Yeah, and it's weird because it does have it's a little tougher than Scorpius. It's a 2-up armor save. And
the Whirlwind Arcus, I believe. Yeah.
It's a Scorpius Arcus. Or no, it's a Sakura Arcus. Sakura Arcus. Sakura Arcus.
Yeah, it's the Sakura Tank.
So like it's cool. Its indirect is like sometimes better, sometimes worse than a Scorpius. I think a Scorpius indirect is better, but this is tougher, faster, has more heavy bolters. So like there's some upside.
I kind of like it more than the
Scorpius.
It
has a little bit more of a role where like they both do indirect. The Scorpius is probably indirect, but the Scorpius literally just parks behind a wall and shoots.
This thing just puts out a lot of AP1 2 damage.
Yep,
just a lot of it.
Yeah,
strength 6 and strength 5.
I'm of the opinion that this is a perfectly average tank. It's fine. It does cost a CP to have it, so if you want to, it costs 2 CP.
That is rough. A lot of these are going to cost a CP.
A lot of the forge-rolled ones cost a CP.
Same thing for the Land Raider Achilles.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it didn't cost a CP, it would be edging on tournament staple, I think. Martial Legacy is a serious downside, and it a lot of the time keeps anything with it a tier below where it would be.
Yeah. I think the Arcus is going to fall into perfect average for me.
I can agree with that. It's 9 plus 2d6, strength 6, strength 5, AP1, 2 damage. I can't be sad about that.
Yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah, it's just solid. It's not flashy, but it does what it does, and I like the Sakura platform.
Like things that just do what they do, but also cost you 1 CP are like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yep. Yeah, the speed is always one of the best parts there. They are very quick.
Very quick. All right, Eradicators. Love me some Eradicators.
Get into some good stuff here.
Yeah, Eradicators are the
Eradicators
spice.
are things that you've taken. You've taken them to a couple tournaments. You've been a big fan of them.
Yes, they're very good in Black Templars. Like they're incredible in Black Templars.
Yep.
They're real good in Salamanders. They're what else are they good in?
I mean, anyone who can chapter master them, they're pretty decent.
Yes, if you have them, you want to chapter master in your list. Period.
Yeah, because you often will take the heavy melter rifles and multi-meltas, which are all heavy weapons. So they do even more damage, but they take a heavy penalty, which means you really want those reroll hits.
They're not bad in Iron Hands. They're not.
I think they're very solid in Iron Hands. You can
give them a 5 feel no pain. Yep. Turn 1, you're not taking a movement penalty, and you're rerolling 1s to hit.
Yep. And anytime you put them in Dev Doctrine, they'll ignore that movement penalty
and reroll 1s to hit, which is quite nice.
Black Templars, you get all the access to all their defensive buffs.
Yeah, Black Templar ones are very hard to kill.
Yep.
Because you put Crux Obsidian and an extra wound on the Sergeant, then you give him 5 feel no pain. And all of a sudden, that guy is eating an insane amount of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Then they have a 5-up invuln on top of that from Uphold the Honor. Any damage 2 goes to damage 1, which you can then activate the Gravis strat against. To
+1 save.
Yep. So it's like invincible in the face of the foe or something. And then you get +1 to your save. They're just incredibly durable. And then you can res the model with the Crux Obsidian and the extra wound with an Apothecary. And that just breaks your opponent's soul, honestly. Like, they spend their entire turn just wailing on one dude.
Yeah.
And then you just res them. And then you blow them up. And then Devout Push also helps get them in range. Or move out, shoot, fire, and fade back with it. Is very strong. So
I definitely think Black Templars are the best chapter for them.
Absolutely.
But Ultramarines like them a lot as well. Because you can ignore that heavy penalty on turns 2 and 3 in Tact Doctrine. And you can reroll wounds against a certain target. You often have reroll hits because there's 17 different ways to get it.
Yep.
And you can redeploy them.
Yep.
Which means that you can actually use them turn 1 half the time.
Yep.
Whereas most armies don't want to just deploy on the line with an Eradicator squad because they'll just die. But then you can just redeploy them there and walk up and then you get to shoot.
Salamanders ones are very good in the current meta too. There's a lot of AP1. They stand in cover. They get to it.
Yep. I also actually kind of like Salamanders as like having 2 3-mans with just the assault rifles. relatively cheap, but just wounding on 2 is just boink, boink, boink.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah, but the 6-man heavy brick with all the upgrades is super good in Black Templars.
Very good in Black Templars. I start my list with it, honestly.
I'd be inclined to go tournament staples. They're not going to make every list, but I think that they are probably the best heavy support slot that we have access to as Space Marines. Yeah. And I think that there are quite a few chapters where they're extremely viable.
Yeah, I think Salamanders, Ultramarines, they're very good. I think Iron Hands, they're very... People don't take them in Iron Hands, really. But I think they could, yeah. A lot of it's about... If you have an Apothecary, they are incredible.
Yeah.
Because they're very durable, and then you can res models and just keep shooting. Because a 4-man Eradicator with heavy melter rifles and multi-meltas will just pick up targets. So...
Really well.
Yeah,
gotta do it.
Very strong.
All right, let's... This is a fun one.
Is it fun?
Devastators Centurions?
I really loved my Cent Star back in the day.
No one cares about 7th edition. Get out of here.
Well, this is... Excuse you. I care.
This isn't a Grey Knight tier list. Soup Boy.
Soup Boy. Yeah, I really loved summoning demons in my Grey Knights list.
Before we talk about the Centurions, let's just take a second and talk about Nathan Moore.
Nathan Moore. He's a $10 super chat.
Thank you so much for that support, Nathan. We really, really appreciate you. Learned a ton from y'all since coming back to the hobby. Still sad about the fast attack rankings yesterday, but I am holding out hope that one day my Assault Marines will have their moment. Nathan, I do not own a single Assault Marine, and I would really love to have a reason to go get them.
Yep.
I might have 8,000 or 9,000 points of Space Marines and not a single Assault Marine. And that honestly does feel like a missed opportunity.
I would love a reason to start putting jump packs on Assault Intercessors, calling them Assault Marines. It'd be great.
Let's hope together. Yeah. Dev Centurions. They don't have core.
Yes, they have fallen quite far.
They're expensive.
They're so expensive. Like 100 points a model.
They do shoot very hard.
Do they?
I mean, relative to their points, probably not. Relative to an infantry model, 100%.
Yeah, relative to an intercessor, they shoot hard.
What? They have like a Hurricane Bolter and either a Grav Cannon, Twin Heavy Bolter, or a...
Twin Las Cannon.
Or Twin Las Cannon, yeah.
But they're like 100 points.
And they can like replace the Hurricane Bolters with Cyclone missile launchers, I think.
No, it's like a one-shot missile launcher.
One-shot missile launchers. They can hit very hard. They do cost a ton of points.
Yeah, if you take
how many points do they cost?
They're like 100 a model.
I know when you like fully tool them there. What's the cheapest I can make one?
I think it's 80.
Well, 80's not as cheap as I would like them to be.
I remember being incredibly sad. Dev Sense they start at 70, but you have to purchase weapons. So with Twin Heavy Bolter, they're 100. Twin Las Cannon, they're 110. Grav Cannon, they're 85.
Oh,
right.
Oh, yeah, because they get a single Grav Cannon, not a double.
Whew. Yep. They are insanely overcosted. They're overcosted by like 40 points.
Yeah, that is bad. Are they straight to cross the Rubicon, or are they flawed choice? They're cross the Rubicon?
No, they're ludicrously overcosted. Yeah. To the point where GW just wanted to forget that unit existed.
Do they ignore the heavy penalty?
No.
So they just hit on 4s?
And let me make sure. They do ignore cover.
I feel like they ignore it.
They might ignore the heavy penalty.
God.
They definitely ignore cover because they have an Omni Specs. They've had that
That's
way
been
back
a
in the
thing
day.
for a while.
Yeah. Dev Sense. Nope. Oh, wait, no. Decimator Protocols. Models unit do not suffer hit.
Okay, so they just hit on 3s most of the time, unless their opponent does something to make them hit on 4s, at which point they still won't have rerolls.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Landed Crusader.
Oh, yeah. Let me make sure how many shots that missile launcher gets, too.
God.
Because it's embarrassing. I remember that. It might be 2.
Hold on. Someone's saying in the chat that they may have gotten a points update and dropped a lot.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
We can come back to it.
That would make me feel a little bit better. But it still sounds expensive.
I don't know why they wasted time on an entry in the codex. Their missile launcher, it's D3, but it's D3 damage.
Got it.
D3 shots, D3 damage.
Yeah, it's cute, but not enough. Land Raider Crusader. It's like a Land Raider with bolt guns. Just more bolt guns. This is literally just straight to cross the Rubicon nerd, right? The Land Raider Crusader?
Oh, terrible, yeah.
Alright, so I think they went down 15 points. But that still means that they're 95 with the 2 Las Cannons, so I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Okay, someone looked it up before I got there.
Yep. Land Raider Crusader, so sad about Land Raider Crusader. Yeah, there's
nothing to say. Like, what, at 12 inches you put out 24
Bulk gun shots?
bolter shots
Yeah.
for like an insane amount of like 200 and change points.
Yeah.
No, I mean, what the problem is, they think Land Raiders are transports, and they're not.
I mean,
They have to be able to stand on their own.
I mean, let's just be real. You know, this model is just old.
It's old.
And it just needs to cross the Rubicon.
It does.
Nerd.
It does. Nerd.
Devastators.
They're alright. They're fine.
They're the cheapest way to get just good heavy weapons into an army on an infantry model, which is totally fine. That is a reason to take them. Iron Hands, people like them in a pod. Long Fangs, people like them in a pod. I am more in favor of a Rhino or something else than a pod, personally, as we've discussed in the transports.
Are a bit risky.
Pods can be risky. But I think Devastators inherently are not bad. I actually like putting them in a Land Raider Achilles when I can. But
That's a lot of points in one place.
A lot of points in one place.
Pretty safe. It's a pretty safe basket.
Gosh darn, it shoots.
It do. I think they're perfectly average.
I would have gone with strong choice. I think that they're actually better than Land Raider Achilles. Land Raider Achilles is cool in Iron Hands, but you can take Long Fangs and White Scar devs and Iron Hand devs and Ultramarine devs, and there's multiple
true.
Chapters.
You can get decent hitting out of them.
Yeah.
The +1 to hit and then you shoot the model twice is like, it's very reliable.
It is pretty cute.
It is pretty cute. By the way, I think if DevSense cross the Rubicon, they become Eradicators.
Yeah, and that's the tournament staple.
Tournament staple.
It's right there.
Speaking of another good unit,
Eliminators.
I really like Eliminators.
Yeah, they got cheaper to get to the point that we like them. They're 75 points base, and Elias Fusel went down to 5 points.
Yeah, that's actually really good. I think they're the most underrated unit in the entire book.
No.
Nobody takes Eliminators.
No, we do see them.
You do?
I think the Storm Speeders are more underrated. Outside of this house.
Probably true.
Yeah, you've just been listening to me talk about Storm Speeders for 2 months.
Second most underrated.
Yeah, they are underrated.
They're highly underrated.
Their output is not that high, but I think their big strength would be that Oculus Bolt Carbon on the Sergeant, which as long as the unit fires, not even that gun, if the unit fires, they make a 6-inch normal move afterwards.
Yeah. It's not even a normal move. You can advance.
I thought it was just...
Or no, I think you can advance, fire just the carbine, and then
that's what it is.
So
it's a 6-inch move, so they can fire and fade. They basically get the auto battle focus.
Yep.
And you can have like 2 heavy weapons, like the Las Fusils and then the Oculus, and then the squad just bips out, shoots 2 semi-las cannons and goes back.
Yep.
And that's just a nice way to do chip damage without ever getting shot back. Super useful.
I love 3 units just with 2 las fusils and the Oculus Bolt Carbine.
Yeah, it's 85 each.
It's 85 each. They
all
all pop out. They fire 6 las cannon shots, and they all pop back behind a wall. There's no way to deal with them.
They're ballistic skill 2.
They are ballistic skill 2. So if you ignore movement, if you ignore hit penalties, they hit on 2s. If you don't, they still hit on 3s with heavy weapons.
Yeah.
They are coarse. They get all the rerolls. Yeah. And when you need them to move and contest objectives, you can move, shoot, move again, charge, get on objectives. You can advance, shoot the carbine because it's assault, move another 6 inches, get on an objective. If you're White Scars, you can advance, shoot, move, charge, get on an objective. Black Templars, you can make them OBSEC, move, shoot, move, charge on objective with OBSEC.
Yeah.
If you're near rights, you get that as well. Like, they're insane.
I'm with it. Eliminators are really good value.
They, in my opinion, they might even be the best unit in slot.
They're up there. There's a weird thing with me where their value really fluctuates in the meta, and it's all on like how much indirect do people have, because I see ignore cover night spinners a lot. I keep playing against ignore cover night spinners, and then this is 85 points of immediately dead.
It is.
I'm always like, they're fluctuating between strong choice and tournament staples.
Yeah,
a Tau also just delete them. Hive Guard, delete them.
Well,
I know.
Hive Guard's changing.
It's true. It's true.
We know the book is coming out real soon. I would personally put them in tournament staple. I think they're
I think I'll do it below Eradicators.
I think in this current meta, I think Eradicators... I think you're right that Night Spinners are going to be prevalent enough. Yeah. If you don't ignore cover, then they have a 1-up in cover, which is very nice. They are hard to deal with.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking that SMS ignores cover, Night Spinners half the time ignore cover, Hive Guard ignore cover, Airburst ignore cover.
I'm not too sad if all their SMS is targeting the Eliminators.
That's fair.
Like, I'm really not sad about that.
Yeah. They're very strong units.
If they're targeting the Eliminators instead of targeting like my Vanguard veterans or stuff like that, I'm fine with it. Yeah. The only time when I wouldn't be is literally ignores cover night spinners, which I get you played against 2 days ago, but you know.
Yeah.
Because if they don't ignore cover, you still get a 3-up against it.
Yeah. All right. So let's oh boy. Repulsor Executioner.
Oh, I was really hoping that was the Gladiator Lancer.
It is not. This is a tank that definitely was a tournament staple for a couple of months there.
It really was. Back when you give it full reroll to hit off Guilliman and -2 to charge, there was like really no way to
No, it was
deal
back
with
when the Ironstone was an aura of -1 damage. Yeah, you remember that? Remember those days?
I was remembering days before even that.
That,
I think that was before the Executioner even came out. I think that was mostly just the
Repulsor.
Repulsor.
The normal Repulsor would just bunker up with Guilliman and be annoying.
Yep, 3 of them, Guilliman.
Then the new Codex made the Executioner real good.
Yes.
Because it wasn't even out yet until then. This thing used to slap. It still has a ludicrous amount of guns and carries a couple of guys.
Yeah, my eyes just glaze over every time I look at all the guns. I'm just like, 2 of this, 1 of this, 3 of that, 1 of this.
Expensive.
It's like 300 and change, which is just
it is the upper 300s. I think the Repulsor is 300 and change, and the Executioner is nearing in on 400.
That sounds right. I don't think they've gone
It also
down.
lost its ability to double shoot the main gun.
They
removed that and raised it in points, and at that point,
that's not good. Yeah, because the main gun's not terrible,
and it lost all its rerolls because it's still a core.
Yes, that too. No, it's definitely not doing hot. Oh my god, yeah, it's 365 with the laser destroyer, and I'm assuming you take some of these upgrades, so it's going to end up being like 370.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I think it's a flawed choice. It's not quite cross the Rubicon nerd because it does have the output. It's just that it's hard to take a unit that expensive if it does not have inherent defense, and it does not have any inherent defense.
No, I think for sure it's a flawed choice.
Yeah.
I think it is being kept out across the Rubicon nerd, but not by like a hell of a lot.
No, it's not doing great. Hellblasters.
Hellblasters
are one of those units I love, and I just don't put on the table.
How many points are they?
33. So, bottom line.
They're what?
This is an intercessor. And you can, instead of being OBSEC, you can replace the intercessor's bolt gun with a plasma gun. And it's really a question of
points.
How many points is that plasma gun worth to you?
Not 13.
It's not worth 13.
And intercessors aren't great at 20.
Intercessors aren't great at 20. You take them because they fill a slot.
But at plus 13, I'm not taking a plasma gun for that, and that's what you have
I have 10 Hellblasters. I can literally see them. They're on the shelf over there. They're gray.
Hello.
They're gray. They were built. They have not been painted.
Yep.
I think I built them 2 balance patches ago because I was like, maybe this time they'll make Hellblasters cheap. And that's how you know that we don't know what's coming because those are new built models that have not been primed and have dust on them.
Maybe this time, Don.
Maybe this time they'll go. I think 28 points per model is the point where I'd be interested in taking them in certain chapters.
They just get scooped so easily.
They die like intercessors. They don't hit insanely hard.
They have to be close to your opponent to do it, is the problem.
Yeah. No, I think
Eradicators shooting you at 24 inches, that's one thing. These guys shooting at 24 inches, they're dead.
I think this is a flawed choice.
I think
because their problem is purely in their cost. It's not what they do. A Marine with a plasma gun is not inherently bad.
You take the Assault one. The
Assault
3, 24 inch, strength like what, 7?
Strength 7, AP3 damage 2, and you overcharge.
AP4.
Might be.
Yeah.
AP3 or 4, I don't care.
Yeah.
If they'll be intact doctrine at some point. It'll be at least AP4.
It's going to be you don't get armor.
Yeah, there's no armor saves against
this. Get out of here,
nerd. Yeah, I like them as I love theoretically them in White Scars where I can advance and not take a hit penalty, and it's little 5-man squad just jumping around doing White Scar stuff in combat, just dropping good plasma on people without taking any penalties. I love that. But I'm not willing to pay 330 points for that.
I mean, shout out to Thomas Bird for rocking these in his Ultramarines army. I mean, God bless.
With an ancient where they shoot on death is adorable. With Dark Angels where they get +1 damage.
Reroll hits, it's so many points down the drain. But I mean,
just nothing.
Good on you, King. Come on.
Yeah, just flawed choice.
Yeah.
All right. This is fun. This is the Stalker Tank. I almost bought 3 of these. I love the Stalker Tank.
The Stalker Tank's awesome.
Is this the Hunter? No, this is the Hunter. I apologize.
Oh, that's the Hunter?
Yeah,
it's got the missile?
The missile. The Stalker's
the Hunter?
The DACA. I love the Hunter because it is garbage cheap and a T8. It's like a T8 12 wound tank.
It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything. There was a point in like when the end of 8th edition Space Marine Codex came out, my first White Scar list had 3 of them.
I remember playing against your Ultramarines where you put a Stalker, I think it was, because they're T8 as well.
Did I ever take Stalker against you?
You did. I remember fully that it rammed itself into a unit of plague drones, and it was just like, yeah, you're not.
That's right. That's right. I had like 2 of those in the first Ultramarine list before I like went for like, screw it, more guns.
Yep.
I think suppressors were what replaced them. I loved just having stupid T8 tanks that were cheap because you could just ram them at people.
Yeah, you just.
I literally took them in a melee White Scar armies, deployed all like 3, and like I did like a couple proxy games. I deployed all 3 of them on the line, and like turn 1, this was old smoke launchers. They just all advanced forward and popped smoke, and then the Marine army of combat ran behind them, and then the 3 tanks just advanced and charged people turn 2, and just 3 bumper cars of just absolute annoyance, and it's great.
Yeah, no, they're a big jerk. Their gun, you can take it right off. It doesn't do a single thing. They're really
bad at the job they're supposed to do.
Yes.
Which is anti-air. Because it's a single-shot anti-air weapon.
Yep.
It's not even...
Let me just...
No, geez.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
If you took a Master Artisan kind of situation, you can get that one-shot hitting relatively reliably.
But for a one-shot gun to be remotely good, it has to be a...
it has to be like 8 damage. Or
right.
Like D3.
Yeah, it has to be... a
hammerhead?
A hammerhead.
If it doesn't ignore invulns and is half the cost, I would accept it, which is what it is. But the damage is not actually...
It's not half the cost. What is it? The hammerhead's 140.
Yeah,
145, I think.
If not
fair enough. So it's strength 9, AP 3. It's like 60-inch range, D6. You get +2 to hit against aircraft, and then it's damage 6 plus D6 against aircraft.
So you just take 3 of these in the old Orc Flyer meta.
Yeah, you would kill like a flyer and a half with that, unless you roll 1.
You take 3 of them. Because I think they're like 85, 95 points. I think they went up, though. They used to be like 75.
They wound on 3s against flyers.
I will spend that command point.
Yep.
Do not doubt me, son.
Hunters, they're 110.
Okay. Is that straight to cross the Rubicon?
Yeah, it's straight to cross
the Rubicon. As fun as story time was, they're very bad.
Yeah.
All right.
110 is just insane.
Wow. Yeah, that's too much for one shot.
Yeah.
Maybe they noticed that I was just ramming.
Maybe they went down. They'd have to go down by a lot.
Yeah.
There's no way they went down by enough.
Yeah, maybe they're a flawed choice if they went down 20 points.
If they went down like 20, yeah, it ends up in like...
Flawed choice. And I don't care about that. Okay, this is a Gladiator. I'm pretty sure it's a Valiant. This is the one with Lascan. That's the one... Oh, no, that's the Lancer. My bad. That's the Lancer. The Lancer's my favorite one. It's 165 points base for a T8 vehicle. And you know where I'm going with this? Exactly the same place. It is 2 shots from its big gun at D3 plus 3 damage. That's +1 to hit, so it always hits on 2s. And the best part is it has a lot of little guns on it as well.
Yeah?
So we actually used some of these at the Adepticon team tournament. I have 2 new on Spur that I would like to get painted up sometime relatively soon. I like the Gladiator Lancer as a strong choice.
They're dope. They're cool. They're not a tournament staple.
No.
In no way. But they are just, especially in Iron Hands with Master Artisans.
Yep.
Like, they hit on 2s.
Here's a question. How many points is the Lancer in that book? Because I think it has gotten at least... I think it's gotten 2 points reductions.
I think it's gotten 2 points reductions.
And...
Gladiator Lancer is a clean 2 hundo. Before you get it in Icarus Rocket
It's gone down... Yeah.
And other stuff. It went down 20, and then it went down another 20.
Oh, 15 and 20. It was 200, and now it's 165?
I think it's 165 with the upgrade.
No, it's 175 with the upgrades.
Oh, sure.
Because I spent 2 different 5-point upgrades.
Got it.
I like the Gladiator Lancer a lot. It was
it
not good.
To go down but 35 points.
Yeah, when we talk about, this went down a lot. Well, this thing went down a lot, and now I like it. T8, it's not expensive. It has good output. It hits relatively reliably with its big gun, and it dumps a lot of little shots. And that is enough to make it useful to me. So I'm a big fan of Gladiator Lancer. We do, however, have a super chat. Thank you so much, Mike P. Help deciding on heavies for Space Wolf successors. Redemptors, Eradicators. They have so far Bike Chaplain, Wolf Lord, 15 Jump Pack Boys, 10 Assault Intercessors. 10 Autobolt Rifles, a Company Champion, Lance Reader Storm. Heavies in that Space Wolf successor list. Honestly, if you go melee heavy enough, I'm going to say it, Long Fangs and a Drop Pod are not bad.
They're not terrible.
If you're all melee other than that, which is exactly what is happening.
It has to be 100% melee.
Yeah, there is not Assault Intercessors, 15 Jump Pack Boys, and a bunch of melee characters. That's fine. The point where I think Long Fangs and a Pod are actually kind of useful.
You can also you can honestly just take a brick of Eradicators.
Yeah.
I really liked before they got super tanky.
Mm-hmm.
I did like in my Black Templars list before the new book came out.
Yeah.
Just having a unit of Eradicators following my combat army around, just picking one thing up a turn.
I like them a lot less in Space Wolf because they don't get an apothecary.
They can ignore modifiers, right?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
That is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, Eradicators or a unit of Longfangs in a pod or reserves or a Rhino, I think would work out.
Yeah.
So Mike P, get some Melta-Guns in there. Longfangs or Eradicators, one of those two. That'd be my take. All right. Demos pattern Vindicator with laser destroyers. I'm not even gonna make you look. Across the Rubicon nerd.
It's just terrible.
It's not good. It's like 3 shots, and I think it has a rule where if it wounds a vehicle, it counts as being. It's not.
I'm looking it up.
He's doing it.
I'm doing it.
While you are looking that up, I'm going to do something without Jack's input or at all, because you're not allowed to input on this one. The Land Raider is an Across the Rubicon nerd.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
yep.
No question here.
Just 4 lies cannons, don't cut it anymore, Chief.
All right, Vindicator Laser Destroyer.
Yeah.
All right, it has a laser volley cannon.
Yeah, what does that do? Does it have to hold still?
It can hold still, and then it doesn't take mortal wounds if you roll a 1.
I see.
So you're always going to fire the big gun.
Yeah.
So the volley fire, the bad one, is strength 3 shots, strength 9, AP 3, D3 plus 3.
Okay.
Like, that's not bad.
3 shots at D3 plus 3?
Yeah.
So it's a Ravager.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm not against that. But the big gun is strength 10, AP 4, damage 6.
Right.
And if you can fire it no matter what.
It just, if you move the big gun, it gives you mortals on ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, you know what?
I remember the reason I looked it up was because I remember liking it when I read it.
Okay, so how many points? Because so far I'm hearing Ravager that has a good profile.
Way better gun.
Way better gun. But it's like a Ravager. You can master artisans in it.
Yeah.
Okay. A Ravager's like 130, 140?
Yeah. I would pay up to like 170 for this.
I don't know if I would have gotten that high.
It's toughness 8.
It's toughness 8. That's cute. How many is it? Like 11, 12 wounds?
It's 11 wounds. Toughness 8.
Okay, I'm willing to keep hearing you out. Tell me that points cost.
All right. Time to be sad. Heavy support. Vindicator Laser Destroyer.
I'm so nervous right now.
175.
That's like quite respectable.
Right?
I want it to be a little cheaper.
I would like it to be 10 points cheaper.
Yeah.
10, 15.
That's not as bad
honestly,
as I was expecting.
It's not bad. I think it's perfectly average.
Yeah, I think that's a little better than I thought. You have to pay CP for it, so it's not...
Yeah.
There's always...
You know what I want to do?
Not pay that CP?
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to run that in Teams.
You can buy it.
Yeah, well, I would have to.
Okay.
But like that thing slaps, especially in Iron Hands. You can make it reroll the ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you make it reroll ones. Your Master Artisans reroll ones, so you don't even need to give it +1 to hit. And then it's just 3 strength, 10 AP 4, 6 damage hits. It's
as soon as like Knights come out, just slapping 3 of those in a team event would be kind of funny.
Yeah.
Zip zip
zip zip zip zip. Like, that's actually pretty good. I actually really want to take that in our team's list instead of the Levy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
That is better than I thought. Vindicator doesn't have Martial Legacy? Go ahead and check.
Oh my god, it doesn't have Martial Legacy.
Oh, that's so cute.
I think that moves it up to strong choice.
I'm going to go to top.
I think it
so?
actually does move it up to strong choice.
All right, you know what, Jack? I will let you have this one.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. That is better than I expected.
Yeah.
Rapiers.
I remember when I read it, I was like, wait a minute. Because I thought it had to stand still to get the 6 damage, and then it would be down in like flawed choice or whatever, because 3 plus D3 is still fine. But it doesn't have to. It just can take some mortals sometimes if you don't.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got the Rapier. This thing is not terrible. You can take the bad Thud Gun, the same one that the Achilles has.
Yep.
Comes with Squadron of 3. You can have quad heavy bolters or double las cannons.
It is very expensive.
Yeah,
it's
like
I remember.
85 base.
What's it called?
Rapier Carrier.
Rapier Carrier. It's 85 base. Laser Destroyer makes it 120. Quad Launcher also makes it 120.
Woo!
So quad heavy bolters 85.
Yeah.
flawed, I think.
If it's Imperial Fists and you go quad heavy bolter, maybe it's flawed, but like
3 quad heavy bolters, you pop double exploding 6s to hit,
so
36 heavy bolters.
you're not core, you don't get any rerolls. Like
Yeah, and then you die because they are not durable.
and they're not fast, so it's not like you can do the peekaboo game.
I mean, I don't want to put them down and cross the Rubicon node. They're not that
only
terrible.
because we've already had like a bad Primaris turret. I'm willing to put them as a flawed choice. So
Yeah.
crossing the Rubicon would leave them where they were anyway.
I mean, the Laser Destroyer isn't terrible for 110. It's not worth 110.
No.
God, no.
But
it is 3 strength, 10 AP4, D3 plus 3.
It's 3 shots.
3 shots, 36 inches, 10 minus
4
4
inches, ballistic skill 3.
It's 110, which is untenable.
Yeah, it's
untenable.
Little. Oh, maybe it got cheaper. Maybe it went down 10 points. We're hearing.
I don't think it did.
I'll freely admit, if the Forge World things got cheaper, I didn't notice.
I'll look it up.
That's not.
We can come back to it if it did.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna talk about one that I actually like.
Yes.
The Sakura and Omega.
I actually think that's I think it's good.
I love the Sakura and Omega. I like had 2 of them in my cart. I was like about to buy them, and they sold out on Forge World, so I held off a little bit, and then like right after that, we determined that was not the move. Because right before Drukhari came out, and then Drukhari came out, I'm like, oh, it's not this.
Oh, Rapier Carriers did go down 10.
Yep.
So Laser Destroyer is it's still 110. Yeah, it's not 120.
No, it's not 120. It's 110.
Yeah, which was what I was basing them off of because I just can't do math well.
Fair enough. Sakura and Omega is it's got the big plasma gun on top. So it's just Sakura, so it's the normal like super fast 2-up save. Can have 3 heavy bolters. Comes with 1 stock. Its big gun when it overcharges is 36 inches, strength 9 AP, 4 flat 3, a mortal per 1.
Yeah.
That is like just putting a bunch of flat 3.
6
shots, strength 9 AP, 3 flat 3.
The problem is
Solid.
It's 190 without the 3 heavy bolters, or just the 1.
Yeah,
and it's 220
with. It is a little pricey.
It is,
but it's got a 2-up save.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
at all. How many wounds does it have?
I think it's like 14.
I don't know why I asked when I'm the lookup guy.
I believe it's 14.
14, toughness 7, 2-up
save. It's like certified and 14-inch move.
Yeah,
it is tougher than your normal tank.
Yeah, las cannons are only 5 points more than heavy bolters.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Really? No, good. 20, first 15. I think I like heavy bolters. I think this is perfectly average.
I think it's perfectly average.
I actually think it's like very close to being good, and there is a meta where it'll be good.
Very expensive.
It's still a little too expensive.
Yep, and that one does have Martial Legacy.
Yes, that one definitely does.
Sir.
Yes, it does. All right, you want to knock these out
real quick? If it didn't have Martial Legacy, I would move it up.
We've got the Predator and the Predator Annihilator.
Get in the Rubicon stacked.
I think they're worse than Land Raiders.
Oh yeah, they're horrendous.
Yeah, they are bad.
You can choose between having no firepower at 140 or 150, or maybe it's 130. I don't really.
No, it's 140 base.
One of them's cheaper than the other.
I'm sure it is.
Sure.
Don't care.
You can choose to have no damage output at 140-ish, or you can choose to also have no damage output, but at 180.
I love that they keep making the Gladiators like 20 and 15 points cheaper in increments every balance update until people take them, which we have not come to yet. But the Predators, they're just like, yeah, we overcosted them, and that's where they're going to stay.
I think they're trying to phase out Predators in exchange for Gladiators.
100% they are.
Which is, I mean, how they've been doing it, right?
Yeah.
You overprice the firstborn stuff, and you start trying to juice the premier stuff.
I don't care. It's an ugly model and sold. If
True.
I wanted a good-looking Predator, I would go convert a Castigator.
Yeah. The Gladiator does look hot.
Looks hot.
Yeah, so...
The Predator
is
not
terrible.
It's hot or not, Predator's not.
So terrible.
Both Predators straight across the Rubicon nerd. So sorry, you're old school Manlet fans, but Predator, not it.
My man, yeah.
Land Raider Proteus. I think it's just the Land Raider.
Yeah, it's not...
It's like, I feel like it's literally just a Land Raider that costs a CP and has like one different stat.
It has 2 twin las cannons,
okay,
which can be swapped out for stuff you're not going to really swap it out for or be happy for.
You can buy it a twin heavy flamer?
You can buy it some stuff. Actually, you can't swap them out. You can just buy it a multi-melta, twin heavy bolter, twin heavy flamer.
So it can have a twin heavy bolter, making it literally the same loadout as a normal Predator, as a normal Land Raider.
Yep.
Or you can instead you can buy a heavy flamer.
And you can buy it either Explorer Augury Web or Heavy Armor. Augury Web is you reduce your transport capacity, which doesn't matter at all.
Sure.
But you are an infiltrator. They can't deep strike within 12 inches of you.
Oh, that's adorable.
Or you give it Heavy Armor where you get a 5-up invuln.
Right, I forgot they don't have an invuln based.
Is not useful.
Okay, so it's a Land Raider in loadout that you can buy a couple of cute upgrades for.
Yes. The Explorer, Augury Web, and Heavy Armor are both 15 points.
Which would take it up to a clean 270.
Plus, if you buy it like a Twin Heavy Flamer, that'll make it 290. If you give it a Twin Heavy Bolter, that makes it 300.
Right.
Like, I think that thing needs to cross the Rubicon.
Nerd.
It's like a
I'm
Land
gonna
Raider
put it above a Land Raider because it has another option.
Right. Like, it's got to be better because it has an option. Even though that option is not... Oh, wait, hold on. Martial Legacy. All the way down at the bottom. All the way.
Pay a CP. I'm putting it above the Crusader.
Would you pay a CP for the option to take an upgrade that isn't good? I think it's worse than the Crusader.
It might be, but this is principle. Endmine, however, did share us $5. Thanks so much for your super chat. We really appreciate you, Endmine. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Endymion sounds better. Let us know what was right. Jack is Endymion, I'm Endymine. Yeah, no, Jack's right. Okay. Going back to that Eradicators discussion, how would you recommend running them in Wolves? Number of models, Heavy Melta versus Melta Rifle, and adding Multi-Meltas. 100% you add that Multi-Melta every single time. I'm in favor...
Multi-Meltas are great either way, whether you run Heavy Melta or Melta Rifle.
I'm in favor of the Heavy Melta Rifle because it's awesome into -1 damage stuff. Because screw -1 damage. Just sick of it, really.
In half.
Just absolutely
when you get to fire D6 plus 4, it feels great. You don't get to do that often, and you don't need it often.
But when you do.
But when you get it, boom, that's a dead Mortarion.
Yeah.
Oh, you're -1 damage, D6 plus 3.
Yep. All right. Jack's correct. Good to know. Really, yeah, he really is. Yeah, I go as heavy as possible. Space Wolves are one of those chapters that has that ability to ignore heavy penalties and all hit penalties. Yep. So I think that there's a lot of value there.
Yeah. If you are running an Apothecary, can they run an Apothecary? Nope. They're not allowed to?
Nope. That Space Wolves don't get Apothecaries.
Loser.
Yeah, ouch. That's why I kind of like
I do agree. If you can't run an Apothecary, that sucks. But
still,
you would take it with Heavy Melta Rifles and as many Multi-Meltas as you can fit.
Yeah. I think I would... You don't have to go with the full 6-man because it's pricey, but a 5-man with 4 heavies and a Multi-Melta is still solid.
It's 255, I think, and it slaps.
Slaps. Yeah.
It's in that ballpark.
We've got another Sakura. There's just more of them. This is the Sakura Punisher, which just has like a good Gatling cannon on it.
Yep, 18 shots, 36-inch range, 6 -1/1. You can give it more. You can give it some heavy bolters. So it comes with 1. You can give it 2 more.
My biggest problem is that this damage output is just a Redemptor, and it costs a little bit more, I think, when you do the heavy bolters.
It costs quite a bit when you do the heavy bolters. It's 170 with 1 heavy bolter, and it's 200 clean with 3.
Yeah, and if it's going to be more than a Redemptor to have the Redemptor Gatling guns, it's...
I mean, it's 18 shots.
Yeah, but the Redemptor gets the 12 shot and the 6 shot. So it still puts out 18.
Fair.
And you're paying
it's just the gun nobody takes.
Yeah, and you're paying a CP. I agree. This is comparable to the worst version of the Redemptor.
I would put it in flawed, personally.
I think it's flawed. I think this, unfortunately, just isn't something Marines need, is weight of damage 1. Oh, Sam Hill. Eliminators are not a meme. Eliminators.
Wait, what are Eliminators doing up there? Is that a meme? No.
Eliminators are fantastic.
Rewatch the video, go back. You can do so many things with
Eliminators are highly underrated.
I told you, they're the most underrated.
They are one of. Look, we're being pedantic here. They're a great unit that's not appreciated.
Yeah. They're very, very good. They fire and fade natively, which is insane. And the movement tricks you can get out of them are crazy. Are
we going to run out of room and cross the Rubicon? We darn might. There's a stretch coming up, but we got to get there first. So, Gladiator Valiant. This is an expensive boy. He's got a Multi-Melta.
This guy hits. He's a lot of shots. He has, like, what? 2 Multi-Meltas and the Las Destroyer or whatever?
I accidentally had the wrong picture, but we'll stick with the Valiant. Yeah, he has, like, Sponson. He has, like, the Las turret. And then you can like take like another gun, and then he has
2 Multi-Meltas and a twin Las Talon.
Yeah, the boy slaps.
That dude hits,
but unfortunately, he's like
8 anti-tank shots.
Yeah,
which is crazy. 4 Multi-Melta shots and 4 shots at 9 -3 D6.
And how many points? 235 or something.
215.
Still
went down.
That is pricey.
The main problem I have is if it was 36 or more range, I would actually be on board with a Valiant.
But the 24 on the Multi-Melta,
24
it's expensive.
And it's 24 on the Twin Las Talon too.
Oh, that's harsh.
Yes.
That's hard to swallow.
Yeah.
If it could fly, I would like that more too.
Oh my god, I can't. I keep forgetting with these things.
Flawed choice.
Flawed choice. It's not cross the Rubicon, nerd, but it does have flaws. It's expensive. It needs to get close.
Yep.
And if it gets close, it's going to get smoked.
The Gladiator Reaper. This is so much better than the Sakura and Punisher.
Doesn't cost you a CP to start.
Doesn't cost you a CP, and I think its gun is just a 24-shot version.
I'm looking it up right now.
All right. It definitely has gone down in points, as with all the Gladiators.
It is a 24-shot version of the Punisher rotary cannon. It's 6 -1/1.
Okay.
And then it has a Tempest Bolter that is rapid fire 4.
Yep, it is
4
2 of them.
-1/1.
It is
It's
one
two
in
of
each
those?
Swanson. Yeah, it basically has a double.
It
basically has a twin link Stormbolter on each Swanson.
It has up to 40 shots.
Oh, it's insane volume. It's great.
Yeah, crazy volume.
It is how many points? Because it's more than
195. It's a lot.
See,
that's before you buy a rocket pod. You can buy a rocket pod and Iron Hail Heavy Stubber.
You gotta add just 3 more shots, right?
I mean, you have to, right?
Yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah.
What I like is that this is just cheaper than the Punisher. Yes, the Punisher is strength 6.
No, though the Reaper is also
strength
strength 6
6
on the main gun with 24 shots.
So this is just so much better than that. Like default, it has to be above it. It's so much better.
I agree.
I might even put it into perfectly average, but it's a little bit expensive for an anti-horde tool.
I think you just put it at the start of flawed choice.
I think I'm okay with that, yeah.
I don't see a reason to take it, but
it's a lot of dice with no rerolls, which is the best way to not have rerolls.
it goes burr.
It goes burr, but like, how much do you need it to go burr? Does it go burr too much? Impossible.
No. I think I could see it in perfectly average. It depends on the meta.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of hordes, a Gladiator Reaper will clean up.
Yep, that is very true. If we get Tyranid hordes or Orc hordes,
something like that, yeah, that thing will just buzzsaw through an entire
if Guardsmen
unit
come
by
out
themselves.
and like if the Guard Codex comes out and Guardsmen conscript spam is the thing,
Yeah.
this would actually be pretty good.
When you need to kill infantry, Tech Marine gives it +1 to hit.
Except
it's hitting
no
on
substitutes.
2s. Yeah, if you're in Iron Hands, you can make it reroll 1s, and it just buzzsaws through an infantry squad.
Yep.
But I think in the current meta, you don't take it just because you don't need it.
Agreed. All right, we do have a Land Raider Redeemer. This is just crossing the Rubicon nerd.
Isn't that's the Flamer version?
Yep.
Bad.
Short range. It's bad.
It's like what if a Land Raider, but
Flamer.
But Flamer. Like it doesn't do anything.
No,
I'm not big
it has
fan of that.
transport capacity, which is just fantastic.
It has to rock straight up into multi-melter range in order to do literally anything.
Could not be excited about it.
It is significantly better than the Crusader for whatever that is worth.
Yep, I'll accept.
Which is not much.
How about the Repulsor? Just Repulsor, not even the Executioner. It's a transport. It's very expensive. Still a heavy support slot, which makes me sad because I want it to be dedicated transport. It is so many guns, like the Executioner. It's like comparable shooting while cheaper and having better transport capacity.
It doesn't have the
lacks
main gun.
the punch.
Yeah.
Because you normally take the onslaught.
It basically, I think it has like comparable anti-infantry firepower to like the Gladiator Reaper.
Yep.
And it's like 100 points more.
And a transport. And it's like more wounds, but
I think it's actually worse than the
Executioner?
Yeah. The Executioner at least does something.
Yeah, it's still not crossed the Rubicon nerd because it's way too overpriced. But it does have a roll, even if that roll is cost too much.
Yeah.
So it makes it there. Whirlwind Scorpius, the one that used to be amazing. Yeah,
I keep remembering, like that keeps hitting me. It hits me the same every time.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got?
Whirlwind Scorpius.
Whirlwind Scorpius.
I'm a fan of the Whirlwind Scorpius, but like it still costs too much. It lost the double shoot, went down a little bit in points from the old book, but with no more rerolls, just doing its thing, I cannot get excited about it.
Yeah.
It's also cost a CP.
It also costs a CP. It doesn't have the heavy bolter output that the Sakura and Arcus
has.
No,
I don't think it's crossed the Rubicon nerd because it is an indirect gun. That is not absolutely terrible, but it's not good.
But it's
flawed.
It's flawed. I agree. It's not down at the bottom.
Yeah,
but it's like not. Yeah, it's probably there.
Yeah, I'll put it above Hellblasters. Actually, I think it's better than Hellblasters.
Probably.
It was the normal Sakura. It's like 10 points cheaper than the Omega. It's like strength 7, AP 3, damage 2 on its gun. It's like not, again, it's not terrible. Does its gun have a cool anti-flyer thing?
It does not anymore.
Oh, no. Pity.
Sakura Battle Tank is 180 to start.
210 if you want those heavy bolters.
Those sick heavy bolters.
So it's just worse than the Omega. I think it's 6 shots and you're a much worse profile for 10 points cheaper.
7 minus 2, 3.
7 minus 2, 3. Okay.
So you don't need to overcharge for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, but you'll take the strength 9 AP 4 against
Yeah.
anything you wanted that 3 damage against anyway. Yeah. I think it's a flawed choice, but it's like not terrible.
It's whatever. It's so whatever.
It's a great model. I'm actually really I really want one.
It's just too expensive.
Yep,
for the damage
It is too expensive.
It is durable. It is, you know,
all the Sakarians are somewhat durable. Yeah,
14 wounds. Like, I think I could see it in perfectly average.
Yeah,
just
because it's so much worse than the Omega.
It is a lot worse than the Omega.
Yeah, it's just the direct comparison. 10 points, same frickin' model,
and the gun gets +2 strength
and plus 2 AP.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
fine,
you can't.
Yeah. One of them smokes tanks, the other one doesn't.
Adam, both of those units are legends and will not be considered in this poll.
The Mortis Dread, if it still existed, would be phenomenal.
I really miss it.
I do.
I do really miss it.
Magic Dread was real.
Tell you what, instead we have a Hunter.
Yeah, the Hunter's whatever.
It's the same thing as a Stalker, where it's T8, not that expensive. Puts out like 6 shots or 12 if you target a plane. But at the end of the day, it is a little bit expensive, and it's not
also
very good.
Doesn't really kill flyers.
Does not kill flyers
like
at all.
Strength 7 -1/2 just doesn't.
Is it cross the Rubicon there?
No, it's still a toughness 8 body.
I mean, we put the Stalker in.
Yeah, but this is definitely better. The Stalker's like 110. The Hunter's 110. The Stalker's 115. It is better than a Stalker.
Okay, sure.
I mean, than a Hunter. Whatever.
I'll still cross the Rubicon there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Fair.
Thunderfire Cannons.
Cross the Rubicon, nerd.
Thunderfire Cannons?
Yeah, they're like 100.
They are terrible.
They're so bad.
They managed to make Tremor Shells not worth it. And Tremor Shells was an amazing stratagem. And they were like, you know what? We're going to make this
I'm not against it. I'm not against it. I personally am done with the days of 3 Thunderfire Cannons in every list.
I think that because Tremor Shells exist, it is better than Land Raiders.
Sure.
That's what we're getting.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm so happy these things aren't triple in every Space Marine list anymore. Like, I was so annoying.
How about the Fire Strike Servo Turret, which you can have 9 of?
This is where I'm going to come out with a slightly hot take. I don't think it's, like, horrendous. The Las Cannon variant is giga awful.
Yeah, it's 130.
I think they went down. I think they're just 110 now. But,
go ahead.
Oh, no, I think they are 130.
I think they're 130.
They are 130. They're 90 with the autocannon variant.
Which is 6 shots at strength 7 AP 1 damage 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Ballistic skill 2.
Ballistic skill 2.
Does it move 3 inches?
I believe so.
Okay, great.
Like, they're not bad with the autocannon. They're not good.
Buddy.
They move 3. They shoot a bunch of shots that hit on 2s. Like,
move 3, yeah. No rerolls. 90
well,
points.
no, you take a single one with Master Artisans, like a single one in the detachment, and then you reroll the one that you miss. I understand. There's no way they're across the Rubicon, nerd. The Las Cannon variant is like all the way at the bottom of across the Rubicon, nerd, because it's 24 inch range and they move 3.
They might actually be better than the this thing.
Yeah, they are. I think.
But they're pretty down there.
I'm only arguing that they don't go across the Rubicon.
All right, I will accept that they are roughly equal to Void Weaver. They're the same points.
Why do you hurt me like this?
No, the points are how we measure value here.
Right.
It's about the same value.
Right. No, Void Weavers are just what's above tournament staples?
Tier maker.
Tournament headache.
Tournament.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think for value, I think the Las Cannon variant is so bad. Yep. Like, it's ridiculously bad.
Yep.
But the autocannon variant is fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Again, I would take suppressors so that I am better.
Yep.
But you know what?
Suppressors are better than it. Suppressors end up being perfectly average, I think, on our fast effects.
They might have even made strong choice. They might have been.
I think they were average.
Yeah.
I think I argued for them to be strong, and you're like, but they're not. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sakura Vendor, the last Sakura. It's less shots and it hits harder. And
no, it hits the same.
It hits harder than like the other Sakurans. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking about the Vindicator.
Yeah.
Laser boom boom.
Strength 12, maybe 3 damage D6, and if you
stood still, if you remain stationary, damage 6.
Okay, so that's like adorable in Ultramarines and Salamanders, where you get some ignore stationary things.
Yeah.
It's still expensive. It's still 3 shots. It's ballistic skill 3.
Yeah, it's like 180, I think.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
Like 180, God.
No, I don't love it either.
I think it's a flawed choice, and probably better than the normal. You want the heavy
Yeah,
bolters.
it also has Martial Legacy. Like, the comparison to the Vindicator Laser Destroyer is just ludicrous.
Yeah, no, the Vindicator Laser Destroyer is better. It's also T8, even though it has less wounds. So
Yeah.
No, the Sakura is not there.
Yeah, the comparison is just terrible. You need to build in interaction in order to make it damage 6.
All right.
And it also... it also costs you a CP.
At least we're done talking about Martial Legacy.
Thank God for that.
But we've got the normal Vindicator.
Because Martial Legacy is keeping a lot of these low.
Yeah, I think the regular Vindicator needs to cross the Rubicon. It's not that expensive, but it's just D6 shots and not good. It's T8.
It's 130
T6 shots.
I know you're not. I'm not saying it's good. You can give it a Siege Shield for 10 points.
Yeah, which gives it a 2-up save.
Yeah, it's Toughness 8 with a 2-up.
Yeah. I get it, but just remember that a Lehman Russ is Toughness 8 with a 2-up and is double the shots.
Hits on 4s.
Yeah, take double the shots over Ballistic Skill 3. And Heavy Bolter. It is still just not good.
I think it's just not good. I think it's either top of Cross the Rubicon or bottom of Flawed Choice.
I'll go bottom of Flawed Choice.
I go bottom.
If it was a little cheaper, I would take 3.
It's a better Predator for whatever that's worth. 2-up save, Toughness 8.
Yeah,
just makes it really annoying to kill for its points cost. But it doesn't do much.
I'll say it's bottom of Flawed Choice.
Yeah,
still not good. We have one last one, the spiciest boy, the regular Whirlwind. Damage output negligible, but
damage output 0.
There's a lot more little crap in the game right now with Eldar and Tau having Crew Hounds and Eldar.
The problem is I don't even think it picks up a unit of Crew Hounds.
The 2d6 shots of strength 6 should put a decent dent in, right?
They have a 4-up save and cover.
Yeah, if they're touching cover, they're often getting shot. So I'm thinking when people are just on a lot of the player place terrain with windows, there's a lot of things hiding just an inch behind an obscuring piece of terrain. And I don't hate its damage output. It doesn't do enough for the points. I'll really admit that.
So 2d6 is AP 0. So the problem is if they're touching a wall, right? You step out to shoot it, Tau just go, boom, you're dead.
Why are you stepping out to shoot it? You're a Whirlwind.
So you're saying that if they're touching the terrain, they're dead anyway, right? So if they're touching the terrain, they can just do that because if you step out to shoot, it's a horrendous trait for you. Kill 24 points and you lose a tank or something.
Yeah.
So these guys, probably doesn't even kill a unit of Crew Hounds. In fact, I'd be surprised
if they're not touching terrain. I think it does.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not because it's 2d6.
I fully agree it might not.
Rerolls.
But I also like killing 1 or 2 just Eldar models a turn. The main reason people take it is for the fight last stratagem.
Right.
Which is a reason.
I don't think
it's great.
I think it's pretty bad.
It's a lot better than a lot of the other things that we've had here. I'm personally thinking the Whirlwind is perfectly average.
I think it is bad. It is
better than a Scorpius. Because it has a strat. It's a lot cheaper.
It has way less damage than Scorpius.
But it's 60 less points.
Far less damage.
Yeah, but it's 60 less points.
Is it?
It's 110,
It's 125.
It's 125? Okay, fine. So 55 less points.
Yeah.
Or 45. Scorpius
45 less points.
Still, doesn't cost a CP.
In exchange for 0 damage.
It's less damage, but it also has another role than indirect. I think it's the bottom of perfectly average for me.
Yeah,
it's not great.
I agree it doesn't belong in the same tier as the god-awful ones.
Yeah.
It's not good.
You cannot convince me that it's on the same level as a Scorpius or Hellblasters
or a Repulsor.
You cannot
Fire Strike Servo.
You cannot tell me it's on that same level.
No, I
honestly actually think it's going to be closer to the middle of Flood.
I think it's definitely worse than the Sakarans. 100% worse than
All right, fine. I'll put it ahead of the Gladiator because
it's 125 points to have the privilege of spending 1 CP to make something fight last.
You're not going to do it often, but it is at least a unique thing that it does. Because nothing else in this slot makes people fight last. There's also some chapters that literally don't have fight last.
But
you're not going to need it often.
Everyone jams it in their lists.
Yeah.
But I agree with Brad Chester right there in chat. It is so not good.
Indeed.
It is a deeply bad unit to put in your melee lists. Because I just want more models. I don't want a 125 do-nothing unit.
Indeed. Well, I think some people noticed that Brad Chester tried to call you on Skype.
He did.
And that may mean that it's time for our next YouTube video.
Yeah, it's about time for Fix My List.
Mm-hmm.
Brad just calls. He doesn't wait.
No,
he just calls.
He just calls.
He just calls. He needs me.
But that means that it's time for us to say adieu. So thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. Please, please, please give us that like button, the subscribe.
You know what?
It's better than Fast Attack.
This actually turned out much better than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was going to be Fast Attack, but very slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually not bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not elites, but like, what is?
But nothing else is.
Nothing else is.
Yeah. So we're calling it there. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please let people know, let your friends know if you like Art of War. And also make sure to check out the War Room. We, of course, have it on our website, theartofwar40k.com, and you can sign up right now, right here, to just get it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching, everyone. We've got another video coming up in just about 2 minutes. Jack Harpster and Brad Chester are going to be on a new episode of Fix My List, where we take some lists from our wonderful War Room members, and we do a little bit of a doctor service.
Yeah. You know.
Absolutely, got to resuscitate him. All right, thank you so much for checking in, everyone. Hopefully, we will catch you next time. We've got a lot of exciting new content coming up next week. And Jack and I will be live tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. in about 22 hours to talk about the new Tyranid Codex.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, thank you so much, everyone. We'll send you off with a commercial for the War Room.
There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.